In a quiet little town, there once lived a boy named Caleb. He was the pastor's son, kind, talented, and full of promise. Everyone said he was special, like God had big plans for him. He played guitar at youth group, knew Bible verses by heart, and always helped his mum clean up after service. But even the brightest hearts sometimes carry quiet questions. And one day, when Caleb turned 19, he left. No goodbye, no letter, just a duffel bag, a guitar, and a silent drive toward anywhere but home. At first, the world felt exciting. City lights, new faces, 1,000 voices promising happiness. Caleb chased music, money, and meaning. He played at small venues, lived with strangers, and smiled through late nights. But little by little, the lights faded, the friends stopped calling, and the promises of the world came up empty. Some nights, he played his guitar on street corners just to eat. Other nights, he'd crash in his car with nothing but an old hoodie for warmth. And one by one, the dreams he carried began to slip through his fingers. He tried to numb the ache with distractions, with busyness, with things that never satisfied. And somewhere in that long stretch of lonely days, he stopped praying. He stopped believing that God wanted him back. But still, God watched, God waited, and God never let go. One night, during a cold, steady rain, Caleb sat in his car behind a gas station. His guitar was in the back seat. His pride was gone. And for the first time in years, he looked up and whispered, "God, if you're still there, I want to come home." He didn't know what would happen next, but he turned the key and drove. It was early morning when he arrived. The same little white church sat quietly in the center of town. The paint was peeling, the front steps creaked, and yet it felt like the only place that could hold his weary soul. There was a wooden sign out front. It read, "God still welcomes prodigals." As he stood staring at the sign, the church door creaked open, and out walked someone familiar, Anna Reyes. She'd grown into someone calm and strong. She carried a stack of youth flyers and wore a gentle smile that hadn't changed since they were kids. When her eyes met his, she paused. Then, just as softly, she said, "Caleb, you're back." He couldn't speak. He didn't know what to say. But Anna didn't need an explanation. She just smiled. Not the "long time no see" kind of smile. It was the "God kept his promise" kind of smile. Later that day, they sat in a small town diner, pancakes between them, coffee cups full. Caleb opened up. He told her about the late nights, the brokenness, the things he wished he hadn't done. He talked about how far he'd gone and how empty he'd felt. Anna didn't interrupt. She just listened, nodded, and held the space. And when he was done, she reached across the table and said, "God's not done with you, Caleb. You left, but grace never did." Things didn't change overnight, but they started to. Caleb showed up at church again, first in the back row, then helping with sound, then leading a small group for teens who didn't believe they mattered. And Anna? She was always nearby, encouraging him, laughing with him, praying quietly behind the scenes. Their friendship grew, slowly and beautifully. One night, under a sky full of stars, Caleb looked at her and said, "I don't deserve this." Anna smiled and replied, "That's the thing about grace. None of us do." They didn't rush. They prayed. They waited. And one day, at the altar of the same church where his story had started, Caleb stood beside Anna. Not as the golden boy, not as the runaway, but as a man redeemed by grace. Because not every love story starts in a perfect place. Some begin in the middle of a mess and end in mercy. Some are written by nail-scarred hands. And when God writes the story, even the prodigal gets a new beginning.
Then maybe you're a little like Caleb. Maybe you've drifted. Maybe you feel too far gone, but listen closely. God's not angry with you. He's not giving up on you. He's just waiting for you to come home. If this story spoke to your heart, tell us in the comments, or send it to someone who might need the reminder. Because grace is only ever one whisper away. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again soon for another gentle story full of faith, hope, and the love that never lets go. Until next time, stay close to grace.